All right, we're recording. Loser has to host this episode. Ready?
Loser has the host. Okay.
We shoot on go. Best of three.
Best of three.
Let's shoot on go.
Yes.
One, two,
three.
Go. God damn it! All right, we go again. One, two, three. All right. Here we go. That's one. All right, here we go. We both went scissors first.
Oh, I couldn't. You need to move your shit up, dude. You're like, you can't even see this fucking shit.
All right, here we go. Ready?
One, two, three.
Go.
Shoot. Fuck.
Damn it. All right. One, two, three. Shoot. Damn it. One, two, three. Shoot.
Yes!
All right. Hello, and welcome to the Trio of Positivity podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is not a trio. It is just the duo. We have one trio who just came back from last week. Miller is here. I am Chris. We're going to give a shout out to Boopin, who is under the weather today. Even though I'm under the weather, I barely talk. I lost, and we're basically hosting now, which
that's
I'm
what
not
happens
happy
when
about.
You suck at Rochambeau.
Yeah, that is true. So I'm Chris. That's Miller. We're going to do the social plug here. You can try to find us on Facebook on a Trio Positivity Podcast, X, Trio Positivity, YouTube, Trio Positivity Podcast, and TikTok, ? That's the Ron Burgundy. I was waiting for Boobin to do that, and he never did it. Like TikTok? No. TikTok is still there, and we don't talk about the website anymore. So let's get into it, shall we? Miller, want to talk to us a little bit about what you enjoyed from last week?
Well,
that you didn't get a chance to talk to us yet?
That comment was later, but since you're the host, I guess you get to
I am the host. That is correct.
Okay, well, let me figure out what I was going to say.
And as always, he's not prepared, so we're just going to skip his comments because no one cares.
I am ready.
Let's get your reaction to week 2.
No, can we go back to week 1?
Yes, we can go back to week 1.
Since I kicked your ass in Rochambeau, I feel it's only necessary for me to pick what I want to talk about rather than listening to you. And you're welcome. I'm back. The better third is here. Happy to bring some positivity.
We had a great episode, Boopin and I.
And there was a lot of pieces that you guys didn't cover that I was a little bit disappointed in, but it's okay. We'll cover them today. But the comment from last week, I'm not going to get into all of it because you guys covered most of it, but I think I need to sit back and accept the aggressive nature of Ben Johnson based on the offensive performance that we saw last week and then continuing this week. I don't think you mentioned the stats that I received from one of our good friends at Stathole Sports.
I don't think we got it in time. I think we got it.
No, we had it.
After.
We had it.
I think we got it after.
I had it. You didn't ask for it.
You had it. I didn't have it.
So basically, I asked them to run some numbers on the Detroit Lions last year.
Who gave you that idea, by the way?
Me.
Oh,
no, I'll give you pride, Chris. My friend Chris.
In all fairness, to give some background, we were walking back home. Or back to the car. We weren't walking home that night. It was after the Monday night game, and I said, "This is basically Ben Johnson." And Miller's like, "No, I don't recall seeing a lot of fourth down aggressiveness." And I'm like, "Miller,
okay, whoa,
hold on." I said, "It's not just the fourth down aggressiveness. It was a yardage aggressiveness that the Lions had, where whenever they seemed to be inside the 5, I think I might have said, they always seem to kind of go for it." So now you can go ahead and
you're so point. Wrong. You're not even close to what even I asked about. I was specifically talking about aggressiveness on fourth downs between the yardage of 10 and 30, right? So obviously if it's over 30, the likelihood of kicking a field goal and making it is a little lower. And if it's inside the 10, the likelihood of going for it and trying to get a touchdown rather than a field goal is going to be a little higher. So I wanted to exclude those and specifically go between the 10 and the 30 marker, because there is like, you should get 3 points out of it, but you're also risking turning the ball over. So I asked him to look into it, and what he came back with was the Detroit Lions last year, between the 10 and the 30 on fourth down, regardless of yardage, they ran a play on fourth down 33% of the time. So I don't know if that fits your narrative or how high, if you thought it was high or lower or whatever. But specifically focusing on last week's game where it was a 4th and 3 inside the 30-yard line, I asked him to clarify on 4th and short what the probability was in a situation like that. He came back with they had 12 opportunities fitting that 4th and 3 or shorter. They went for it 10 times. So that's a high percentage of aggressiveness out of his play calling. Now, focusing on that play, to me, it wasn't necessarily the aggressive nature of it. It was the entirety of the situation. I still didn't like the play call. I wanted the points. 2 main reasons. One, this was the first game in our offense. Caleb has not been running this offense for 3 years. He's been running it for 3 quarters. Well, it was less than that, for a quarter and a half at that point in a
so we're just ignoring preseason.
And additionally, JJ McCarthy looked like shit. Our defense was stopping him very successfully, and I wanted points on the board. We went for it. We didn't get it, and everybody knows what happened there. But aggressiveness from Brent Johnson is going to happen this year. Be ready for it, regardless of the situation. And you know what? Although I didn't support that one, I supported pretty much every one that happened in week 2. So we can transition into that, because that was basically the comment that I just wanted to talk about from last week. As we know, there's no positivity this week.
Wait, we're going straight to the Bears. We're not going to talk about the NFL? Why are you, or do you not follow an agenda here, brother? What's going on here?
You're blank. Do you want me to have a reaction to week 2?
Yes, it literally says reactions for week 2, and you have Tom Brady in Washington.
Sorry.
Go ahead. You start.
Sorry.
Since you won Rochambeau. No, but in all seriousness, week 2 was actually pretty good from an NFL standpoint. We had some great games.
Yeah.
But I do see that you have a Tom Brady Washington thing. I'm actually intrigued to hear what you have about that. Go ahead.
I don't know if you've seen anything what happened, but basically yesterday in the game between the Oakland Raiders and the Chargers, they had a shot up into the coach's booth, and sitting right there next to Chip Kelly, who's the offensive coordinator of the Raiders, was a partial owner, Tom Brady.
He was wearing a headset?
He was wearing a headset and everything.
Ooh, okay, hold on. I did not actually see that yesterday.
So this opened a can of worms, and subsequently the conversation has been about it. And of course, the NFL has come out and said that he has followed all the appropriate protocols of being blah, 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 blah. Basically, he's the NFL's golden boy. But in addition to that, if you really take a look at what's going to be coming for the Raiders, is we are a primetime game this week. The Bears and the Cowboys. You know who does primetime games on Fox?
That would be Tom Brady.
Do you know who our next opponent is? The Las Vegas Raiders. So basically, we have Tom Brady in our building getting exposed to our team at some level, right? We don't know how intricate he is. Apparently, according to the NFL, he's not really involved. But he's in our building. He gets to talk to players, limited probably, coaches, blah, blah, whatever. And then he gets to go back to his people, where the reporting comes out that he is having meetings 3 times a week with their offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, discussing the offense. And then we have to go play the Raiders after Tom Brady gets exclusive meetings with our team. and it's just getting really messy. And the fact that he's this involved in the Raiders as well as this involved as an announcer, it's just not a good look. It's messy, and it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Why does he get to have this?
So let me ask you a question. Do you think Tom Brady is actually doing something with the information he might be getting?
I think that's I think it's a very tough thing to talk about,
Yeah.
to say, because I don't think he's going to be doing anything directly.
Yeah.
But indirectly, he's going to get more access than a normal owner would get to the game on Sunday. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
I disagree with that to an extent because I believe owners can be involved as much as they want. What we're talking about is being involved in the opponents.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
I took it as like him being an owner and him sitting next to Chip Kelly. I think the Colts owner also has a headset too for her team.
Yes.
So I feel like that's kind of okay.
I don't think. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think there's any issue with the owner being involved. Look at Jerry Jones,
so
the coach's owner.
We're gonna go past that. Yeah, we're gonna go past that.
The issue at hand is Tom Brady's getting to dabble in all these other stadiums, all these other situations, and learning information about other teams that may not be privy to most owners. Maybe I'm just naive.
Let me play devil's advocate. But if you're the owner of, let's say you're the owner of the Bears. Okay, you find out Tom Brady's gonna have your game, and then you kind of know these things. Do you really think you would give him as much access as you want as an owner?
But do you have say of what access he gets? Because you have to understand, like, I mean, yes, but you also have a primetime game coming to your building. So they're going to want to do certain things, make sure everything's produced the correct way.
Yeah, no, that part, I think that part is a different, I think if you're talking from the media aspect, I think that's a different conversation we're having. What I'm saying is, if you're the owner and you know Tom Brady, who is going to be doing the game, is also an owner or part owner, however you want to word it. To me, an owner is an owner, no matter what. You're probably going to limit the information that he's going to be getting.
Yeah, I just don't know how much an owner can do in that situation. I don't know how much say an owner has. Like, if I'm Fox and I want to do a special on Caleb Williams, does the owner have a say in that? I would probably say no. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that that has anything to do with Tom Brady. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I was going to say. I think if it's Tom Brady doing a sit down, I would have someone there with him just to be like, hey, what kind of questions is he asking? But I'll be very honest with you. This might be a me thing. I've been okay with the games that I've watched where he's talked. I feel like he's gotten better. So I mean, whatever.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't fucking listen to these people.
No, you didn't. Well, the Philly Kansas City game to me was very like. I actually enjoyed his performance, but not to get too carried away. I think we can probably talk about that for hours, just because it's a very.
One last thing that I'll leave you with.
Yeah, go ahead.
Owners of different teams rarely get to go to every building. I guess they'll go to a few, but he's getting. We've established that he's getting more access than most.
Correct,
and he's also getting inside knowledge of a situation. He's getting more exposure to coaches, players, and personnel than other owners would. So,
there's a difference.
Let me leave you with this. He's going to have more accessibility down the line if they want to hire a player, poach a coach, or anything like that. Like, he's going to have more information.
Assume that. I think a lot of that information.
How do you not assume that?
Well, because a lot of that you can get with a press pass. Like, if you don't have a press pass, you're not going to have that information. So it's dependent on what each team wants to do with the information. Or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that because I was going to go into two different tangents. He's going in there most likely with a press badge or with some press credentials that Fox is giving him, and because of that, the NFL has set rules as to what media outlets can do with press passes. If he's following that, I don't think it's an issue. Now, the only thing that I will concede is that you can revoke his press rights. If you don't want him around your building, or if you feel like this is a thing, you can be that team and be like, hey, Tom, you can call the game, but during the week, we're going to revoke your press access. You're going to have to do so. I think that's totally okay.
The NFL won't go for that, but we can move on. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't like this situation.
It's not a best situation. I agree. But I don't know. I think I'm just gullible at that point. My reaction to week 2 is very much short and sweet. It was a Super Bowl rematch. They really hyped it up. They had the Fox Network down in Kansas City for their pregame, which I found it oddly enough that it was for the afternoon game. But then I realized it was America's Game of the Week, which then I found out America's Game of the Week is usually in the afternoon. It's never the noon game, which, okay, I guess. I don't think we're going to be the game of the week, but whatever.
We are.
That's a horrible choice. It's a horrible choice.
That's what they do.
Okay. Also, kickers seem to be kicking. I can't believe like the way that the Cowboys
one kicker seems to be kicking.
The way that the Cowboys game went, and then the leverage with the Colts.
Oh, that was so funny.
But
Brandon Aubrey is just ridiculous. A 64-yard field goal to tie the game to go to overtime, and he just casually goes up and just fucking smashes.
You know what? So I'm a big fan of Pat McAfee, and I think Schefter. I think it was Schefter that said it, or it might have been McAfee, but he said that the kicker is the first in the NFL's modern era to kick a game-tying kick to go into overtime with 0 seconds, and then get a walk-off kick to win it.
With 0 seconds, yeah.
With 0 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's impressive enough. All right, let's get down to it. That was the longest conversation, I think.
Expanding on the Colts.
Oh, you want to expand on the Colts?
If only we got that call against Green Bay last year. That would have been nice. But that was just horribly played. I don't know how in-depth you watched it. The Colts got so lucky. Like the fact that
I watched the play, but can we just kind of I just want to dabble on it. The way the rule is written is horrible. And I think there was an explanation done on that rule where it's like,
I wasn't necessarily arguing the rule.
But what I was going to say is, if you read the rule, you can make the argument that leverage happens every kick. So
the point is, like, you can't touch the center. That's not what they said he did, right? Didn't they say that he touched his own guy and tried to push up off of him? Isn't that what the call was?
Let me pull up, because there was a statement by the referee. It says, for leverage as a defender, you're not allowed to place your hand on an opponent or a teammate and push off to propel yourself into the air to block a kick. In this case, number 92 came across the line to the right guard, and he put his hands on the right guard and pushed off to elevate himself in the air. You're not allowed to do that. It is a personal foul.
See, that's the stupidest fucking rule. That's even more dumb.
So the way, and then someone had the rule, I think it was Pat McAfee again. They had the rule where it was kind of like written for leverage, and it was like everyone's touching them. Like if you look at any play, can you make an argument that if you touch him and you just do one of these, are you really levitt? No, you're just trying to move the guy across. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so how do you know, like, okay, if you're blocking somebody, right, and then you put one hand on his pads and jump with one hand, is that leverage then?
That's the argument.
It's just so dumb, and I get it.
I think the way it was written, yeah, it's
meant to be great. Basically, we can't have a fucking guy on my team and lift another guy up and throw him in the air, right? That's the point of it. To have something ticky-tack and to call it.
But that's where the word propel comes into play, because when I think of propel, what's stopping players from, doing the old thing to jump over a fence, put your hands out. I'm going to throw your ass in the air and jump. Yeah. There's that kind of propel, and then you're just literally placing your hand on the guy, because the center is going to go down no matter what. The guard is most likely going to go down. So your hands are already going to be above them. Are you really trying to propel yourself, or you're just trying to lift, put your hands up to just try to block the kick? We can go into a whole tangent on that.
But congrats on the Colts for getting the win. But the end of that game was embarrassing for them. We have some friends that are Colts fans. Props to you guys, but one of them was just like sick to his stomach on how they ran the end of that game. They basically ran out the clock to kick a 60-yard field goal, just running the ball. They knew they were running the ball, and they just ran it, got 0-0-0, basically 0 yards, negative yards, resulted in a 60-yard field goal in which the kicker didn't even make it to the end zone. He made it like halfway through the end zone. And then they got this lucky leverage call and subsequently made the game-winning field goal. So props to Indy. I would have never thought they would have been in this game going against Denver in that defense. So props to them. They have been historic. 2 games without punting. If only we had that in Chicago, it would be nice.
What a stat.
Yeah.
What a stat to be proud of. All right, we actually went 20 minutes. I think it's the longest we've gone, just you and I. Well, most of it was you talking about the previous week, but let's bring it back down to earth, shall we? We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the week 2 recap. How do you want to start this, Miller? I see we have some bullet points here in the agenda.
Well, let me just do a quick recap.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
The Bears, the Chicago Bears, marched into Ford Field ready with their newly minted head coach, Ben Johnson, ready for revenge after the horrible Minnesota game. And Ben Johnson was ready to pull tricks out of his ass to get this team the W. And you know what? It didn't work because we got our asses kicked. The Bears lost 52-21. Yes, let me repeat. 52-21. The Bears defense gave up 511 yards, and Jared Goff threw for 5 touchdowns. We got torched in the pass. We got torched on the run. And the offense, well, while some people think it was embarrassing, I think it was decent. It could have been better. But you know what? At some point, when you lose 52-21, it's not good. And we can move on. You had any thoughts before I dive into the key plates that we're going to discuss?
I think you and I are going to go in shambles of you define this game as decent. And what's funny is
I define the offense as decent.
I'm sorry, the offense. I stand corrected. I had fun with AI today, and I got to share it with the group, which I thought was hilarious. Even AI.
I'm waiting to see the sources.
The sources are actually at the bottom now. When you type it in,
it's probably Twitter post from John Schmo.
Listen, we know how much you believe the credibility of sources.
That's fair. As long as they got the blue check mark. Yeah, I don't know if John Schmo has the blue check mark.
You know what? I enjoyed that recap. Let's just dive into this. Let's just
touch on some key plays that resulted in the Bears getting their asses kicked. First, early on, I believe it was about 14-7. The Bears were driving. They were on the Lions, I think, like 34 or something. I don't know. I think they were they were driving. They were on the Lions side of the field. DeAndre Swift fumbled the ball. Whatever his fucking name is. He fumbled the ball. It was a great play by the defense. Resulted in the turnover. Obviously stopped our drive. I think we stopped them on that one. I don't think that one hurt. Subsequently, I think it might have been on the next drive. Caleb's bad play for the day. It was
bad. That's how you want to call it? That's just bad? You don't want to throw any other...
Play. No, I don't need to throw any more adjectives because I'm getting to the point. After a first down... brother. I don't know what the fuck happened. Something shitty probably. After a shitty first down, on the second down play, our left guard, our left tackles played great in this game, by the way, both sides of the ball. Our left tackle got called for face mask. When was the last time you heard an offensive lineman get called for a face mask? A face mask, which turned to 2nd and 32. Caleb Williams then dropped back, got pressured a little bit, rolled out and threw a bomb to the wrong team. So subsequently, he said there was a miscommunication, but it was a really bad throw. Initially, we didn't know if it was like he just fucked up and was meant to throw it out of bounds. Apparently, he was trying to go for a receiver, make a big play. This has subsequently started a debate because Chris believes it's the biggest deal in the world. At the end of the day, it's 2nd and 32. Yes, it could have been better. We could have got it to like a 4th and 10, something like that, and punted, flipped the field. I agree with you. It wasn't the greatest, but it's not the end of the world. It's not turned into a touchdown drive. It's not bigger than DeAndre Swift's fumble that resulted in us losing out on points. Sorry, not the biggest deal in the world. Go ahead, spill your case so I can drink.
All right. So one thing I want to point out is that the first half was actually competitive. People seem to forget that. The first half was actually competitive. Was it great? No. It was 14-21 at some point when we got the Odunze touchdown. And then I think towards the end of the quarter, Lions got the touchdown to make it 28-14. And then the shit show started after that. Funny enough, a lot of the plays again.
You're just going to not talk about the interception?
Well, I am. I'm getting there, though. But okay. You talked about the Swift fumble, and it still resulted in a 1-yard punt, so it didn't do anything. The Bears scored again on their opening drive. That's 2 for 2. That's the only. That's a great positive that we can take from this.
And we scored in the second quarter.
Well, after that, it was punt, fumble, down, interception. Those were the following drives.
But we did score in the second quarter.
Oh, in the second quarter. I thought you meant like the second drive. I'm like, nah, brother.
No, the second quarter, because last game we scored in the first quarter and the fourth quarter, I think.
Yeah, so we're one away from a bingo card. So we're going to talk about Caleb here next, but I think that play was kind of like a backbreaker in the sense of
my God, are you fucking kidding me?
Are you gonna I let you talk. I let you talk. You had 3 whole minutes.
Go ahead.
3 whole minutes, and I let you talk, and this is how you get.
Backbreaker. Go ahead.
It was a backbreaker in the sense of like when he threw that, everyone in Chicago was like, "What the hell was that?" Was there miscommunication? Sure, there's miscommunication, but the way that play kind of unraveled, it could have easily been avoided. That's my only thing. So, do we see growth in that right now? No, we don't. We talked about it last week. Miller, I don't know what your thoughts are on this. I'll ask you.
Jesus Christ.
Last week we saw.
Don't throw an interception, Caleb, because it's going to be a backbreaker.
No, I said that one was a backbreaker. My question to you is going to be, we talked a lot about Caleb kind of using his legs to get out of certain situations, which again, in this Lions game, we kind of saw.
We're not talking about Caleb. We're not done with the key plays.
Are you going to let me finish? Jesus Christ.
Who would have expected this to go like this?
I know. So I'm going to ask you this question. Is that still an indicative of the offensive line getting better in this game compared to what we saw last time with the Vikings? Or do you still think that, which we're going to talk about next, his ability to kind of extend the plays is getting better, which is also making the line better? We didn't talk about it last week. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I'm going to be honest. I've watched some breakdown of this game, and I think while there are situations, this is why I didn't want to talk about this, because we're not done with key plays yet. There are situations in which he extends the play when it's just a complete meltdown on the front. But there are a lot of situations where he has an open man and he needs to hit that. Because Ben Johnson does have a timing play. These plays are competent. And if you watch the play, there are several situations where he needs to get up, drop it to the tight end underneath. He doesn't do that. He needs to get up, see the guy throw the ball. He doesn't do that. Now he has made plays outside of that while he rolled out. He makes positive, spectacular.
We don't need to talk about Caleb's performance. It was one thing that we needed to. It was literally a question about the O-line. This is literally a question about the O-line. You're extending it, whatever. So that's that. Did you talk about the fourth down sneaks already, or
No, I didn't even talk about
okay?
the halftime debacle, which
Oh,
is a fucking backbreaker. Instead of second and 32 interception, oh my god, we're gonna end. Fucking idiot. Okay, so with about what was it? About 15 seconds to go in the half. Jared Goff launches a ball to one of their Isaac Hassa, I think is his name, down the line to about the 2-yard line. It was caught. The knee and the hand hit in bounds, touched by a Bears player. Subsequently, go through the process. Did he catch it? It was on the sideline. Was he out of bounds? Blah, blah, blah. The review comes. I think I wasn't really listening to the game. I was busy. I believe the initial call was, we're going to halftime. It was like a 10-second runoff. Am I right? Am I right with that? I believe. And I thought we were going to go to halftime. And then a review came in from up top, I think, saying that he was down out of bounds. So the play was dead. So this resulted in 6 seconds being on the clock, which, I mean, the Lions didn't have any timeouts at that point when he caught that in the bounds. So they were rushing up to run the play. I think they might have gotten the play off with 2 seconds left and spiked it or something along those
that is
lines. But
correct.
it was just mass confusion. I think after the fact, they came out on one of the announcers came out and said that didn't seem right. But basically, that miscue by the refs resulted in the Lions having a few more seconds to run an additional play, which resulted in a touchdown pass, which added that 28-14 instead of going into halftime 21-14, which, in my opinion, was a backbreaker because of the confusion. That hurt a lot. And then
I just want to know what was said during the game to the coaches, because obviously in that time you can't challenge plays. And so, like, if you're to challenge that, you're essentially challenging that he was touched in bounds and you let the clock run. That would probably be the challenge. My thought process is either the replay official saw one angle and then I don't know if did the ref go up to see it himself too?
No, I don't think there was actually a review.
So it must have been the whole fast one where they. So I'm assuming they saw an angle where it looked like he. I'm not trying to defend it. It's a shitty call. There's no way to defend that. There was other reviews that even they said no, he's inbound. Like the announcers called that he was inbound. So like, it's not just my opinion. There must have been an angle that the referee was like, "Hey, we got to get this play going quick. It's within a couple seconds. So yeah, he's out of bounds. Whatever.
It was just
Yeah.
messy.
Here's the reason why I don't think that is much of a backbreaker. That one is because it was out of our hands. Like the refs made that call.
No, but I mean
I mean it from
if that's your definition
I'm
of a
just saying from that.
backbreaker, that's your definition of a backbreaker. But to me, that's not a definition
I
of a
don't think that.
backbreaker just because it's out of our hands. To me, it's going in when you have the position. They were what, on the 40-yard line or something. It was a long fucking pass. They were on the
29
skirts
yards.
of 29. They were on the 29-yard pass.
It was a 29-yard pass.
Oh, so they were closer than I thought. But like, so they were in field goal range.
They were in
but
field
it was
goal
just
range.
like going into halftime after having the miscues that we had. I think another key play that we had in the first half was the fucked up QB sneaks, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
That
we're
we'll
going
get
to talk
to
about next.
But it just resulted in 4 more points on the board. You go from being competitive to now being down 2 touchdowns, and it's just deflating going into that. But moving on to the quarterback sneaks, basically there was a situation when we were in the 28-yard line of the Bears, of our 28, and it was 3rd and short. We decided to run a quarterback sneak, a legit one, not like a tush push, one of those, just like a normal quarterback sneak right into the fucking behind Drew Dahlman's ass. And then the next, Caleb ran the same exact play and decided to go sniff, what's our new guard's ass? Tooney's ass. He decided to go sniff Tooney's ass. Both resulted in no gains, leading to a turnover. Thankfully, no points were even scored because their kicker hit the upright. But just it's to me, you can get your perspective. You can blame Caleb, whatever. My perspective is on this is when you have somebody like Ben Johnson that comes out in the offseason and sits there and legit gets a question, are you going to run the tush push? And he goes, is a tush push an exciting play? And they're like, well, it gets it done. He's like, yeah, but it's only 1 yard. What is 1 yard? And then he proceeds to come out and run not one, but two QB sneaks, which are more embarrassing than a tush push. I'm just like, if you're going to do this, at least get Cole Kmet, Loveland in the backfield, and just push his ass. Like, if you want to call it a tush push or not, just at least push his ass. Get some leverage besides the running back just sitting in the backfield, just jerking it.
What's funny is like he mentioned that, and then it was the tush push that helped clinch the Eagles win against Kansas City, which that's a different scenario. Did they ever come out on who actually made the call? Was it Caleb's call to do the sneaks, or was it Ben Johnson? I don't think we ever found that out, right?
No, I heard in my brief conversation that if there would be more uproar if Caleb made the change, so I'm thinking that it may not have been.
Okay. I understand the first sneak. The second one was questionable at best. I don't necessarily blame this on Caleb. This is more on the play calling. We have some running backs that we would love to use. Obviously, we're not going to use Swift in that scenario, but
where the fuck is Roshan Johnson?
That was going to be
active. He didn't even touch the ball.
So there's a lot more questions that come of it. I was talking to my buddy Z, who is a Philly fan, and he always tells me how much he missed Swift's when he was there. And I'm like, and I sent him this message. I'm like, I think Swift might just become our workhorse now, which I wasn't expecting to truly be a workhorse. We didn't even use him in those scenarios. So it's kind of leading me to believe that we either don't trust our short yardage with our running backs, or, which I think we're kind of alluding to, do we just adopt a push because we don't know how to run a QB sneak?
I don't know. It was just messy. It was messy. Swift isn't going to run that. He's a east-west
no, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like you have someone that has the ability, at least in my opinion, to just not give a fuck, put your head down, and
Roshan was a great short yardage right back for us last year, and everybody thought going into this year that he was going to take that Jamal Williams role from the Detroit that had like 22 fucking touchdowns a few years back. But obviously he was hurt last game. He must not have been in game shape, but if you're not in game shape, why the fuck are you on the field?
I don't know. Listen, given the news that we got for injuries, if someone's hurt, take your time. That's all I'm going to say. If someone's hurt in the Bears, take your time, recover. whatever you need to do, you got to recover. Like given the news that I recently heard. All right, I don't care about the next point.
Yeah, I was about to delete it.
All right, let's get into Caleb's performance. So I don't know if this is you. I'm just going to read what the bullet point says in this beautiful
don't read it. This is just bullet points.
Yeah, I'm going to read it. So Caleb went 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception, several great plays/throws down the field. I didn't write that. PFF 86 when clean pocket drops to 31.
You sound like an idiot. Stop talking. Okay, so obviously Caleb, if you watch the game, he had several good throws to Rome. Rome had a really good game today. We'll get into that in a little bit. Caleb played very well within the pocket. He played better than his past games, especially last year. He was able to spread the ball around, probably play more, threw the ball downfield further, although some people don't believe that. He did hit some longer passes, specifically to Rome, and he had, I think, one to DJ. But he did miss a few. He missed a few that
more than a few, but continue, yeah.
No, it was definitely not more than a few. He missed a few that he should have had. And he also, like I mentioned earlier, he needs to stop playing hero ball. I think everybody in Chicago can state that the hero ball from last year compared to this year has improved. He's not doing it as often. He's still hitting the dump down when he sees it. But there are moments where he struggles. He doesn't read it right away, and then he misses the dump down, which results in him running and blah, 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 blah. But PFF did grade him as an 86 when
what do we call
in a
PFF?
clean pocket. Pretty fucking false.
Thank you. Continue.
And then when he was under pressure, it was 31.8. So obviously, huge difference there. Surprisingly enough, last year he was pretty good against the blitz. So it's kind of flipped. But yeah, go ahead.
You can't transition
shit.
like that. That's not how you transition. You lead a question in there. You say, "So, Chris, so what do you think of everything that I read?" Even though I tuned out most of it, but you still ask the question
I don't need to.
You know,
I know I'm going to listen to bullshit, so I don't need to lead a question. I just say, go ahead.
So also, did you know that last week was Caleb's first rushing touchdown? That surprised the fuck out of me. I heard that and I was like, that can't be true. So
it was pretty surprising.
It's pretty surprising. So I wouldn't necessarily say that. Okay, let's just start here. The whole offense, not good. Let's just call a spade a spade. Sadly, a quarterback is the main point when it comes to the offense.
Okay, why do you say
Are you going to let me finish? Are you going to let me finish? This is now multiple times that I've let you spew this bullshit.
I know. I just hate your shit. Okay, go ahead.
Also, if you're typing mute because I want the people to hear my voice. Okay? Thank you. So damn it, can you mute? I hear you typing. Jesus.
I did mute. Obviously you can't hear me.
I can hear you. I literally can hear you. He says I can't hear him, and then I'm literally hearing it.
Well, that's not good. I don't know why you could hear me, but
yeah, see, I can hear you. Anyway, so to me, it's just how the offense is running. I did hear something. And Miller, do you still watch the post game that was in old Comcast? Do you remember the old? No,
I don't have that channel.
I don't either. But I saw a clip, and I guess the old coach said it looked like the play calling compared to last week, this was more of a safer play call than what we saw against Minnesota. And that right there, when I heard him say that, I'm like, he might be right. We talked a little bit about how we didn't really see plays down the middle. We saw more plays down the middle, which is great. We finally got some tight end love. Not a lot, but we got some, which was better than nothing. So you start to see the upward trend. I talked about the O-line because in the times that I think he's only gotten sacked, 3 times this past game?
It was 4 this last game.
4, so he's got a total of 6.
6, yeah.
Pretty good fucking number.
For like 48.
Yeah, pretty good fucking number. Better than last year. So it's like, where do you want to see the improvements? That's where a lot of times in the group chat and a lot of stuff of what I see is, where do you see the improvements? Some people say, well, we play 2 really tough teams. You're right. We play 2 really tough teams, but that still doesn't give an excuse as to how the offense performed. The offense did not perform in a way that was, you're playing against 2 great teams. We let them off the hook against Minnesota, and it just genuinely feels like we didn't show up in the second half for this game. So a lot of it is going to lead towards Caleb. And so when you guys start talking about, well, what improvements do you want to see? The one thing that I want to see, Miller, I want him to be vocal to his team. Our O-line continued to get penalties left and right and all of this. And you know what Caleb did? Just kind of stood there, just waited. You know what? I want to see some aggression. Like, hey, these guys are fucking up your offense. Like, show some emotion. Do it on the sideline or something. Or have the coaches show some kind of movement or bench someone. I don't care what you have to do. These penalties on the offensive side are awful. And until I see, and you're typing again, until I see that the penalties kind of going down, I don't know. And that's a Ben Johnson thing. That's a Caleb thing. They got to work something out. But the O-line, just the penalties was just awful. So when you say it's average, I wish it could be more. I'm probably going to agree with you. This is probably an average performance on week 2. I was hoping to see more, being that it was Ben Johnson's return game. The Lions didn't give a fuck. It was already out of hand, and they still decided to put a touchdown on our throats to give them the 50 bomb. The one thing that I wish I could say, and I think it's true, he does look a little bit more comfortable in the pocket. I've seen that now 2 weeks in a row. He seems to be a little bit more comfortable. I think the timing is going to continue to come as the games go on, but to go from one week to another and say that there's improvement, I don't think that there's necessarily improvement. I just think that we're nitpicking on what we want to see improvement. So there's my take.
Okay, first, so you changed it to average, so I'm going to remove my first take because I don't think. How many times last year did we see 21 points?
It doesn't matter because
It
last
wasn't
week,
a lot.
but last week we didn't even get 21 as an offense. The defense helped with one.
We got, yeah, I mean, that's fair, but I mean,
So we're
defense
averaging
is still.
touchdowns, but we're averaging 2 touchdowns a game basically.
That's 3 touchdowns. We got
No,
like 17 points last week.
Last week was 2 touchdowns and a field goal. 2 touchdowns. We're averaging 2 touchdowns a game.
2.5. Yeah, don't lose those arguments. But I'm just saying, how many times did we score 21 points last year? There was few and far between many games where we didn't even get 21 points. So I think that's average.
Okay, but here's
there
the
was
thing.
also several. There was also an interception that we threw that probably wouldn't have resulted in anything, but the fumble would have resulted in points. That was points that the offense had down the field, moving the ball. That's points.
You can't
Caleb
make
was
that
benched in the
assumption.
fourth quarter.
Hold on. You can't make that assumption on an interception and say on a 2nd and 30 plus that we weren't going to get points. You can't make that assumption and then say if we don't get that fumble, we might miss the field goal. You can't make that assumption.
Okay, come on, dude. We're on the Detroit 33. You're not wrong, but come on.
Okay, I'm not wrong. No,
at
but
some point you have to say
saying.
we're in. You're missing directly. That is directly correlated to points. When you're in positive territory, that's directly correlated to points.
Okay, but given the fact that we've seen 50-yarders become a norm now, or 50 plus become a norm, if the Bears got it to 4th and 1, I think they would have been past the what was it, 30? Where was the pass at? The 37 of the Bears or something like that? And they were 20 plus.
It was further than that. It was
further into Lions territory.
It was 30 Chicago 37, and he threw it.
So it would have been like at the 47. So they still would have tried if they wanted to. They probably could have kicked it, whatever the case. That's what I'm saying. So you can't make that assumption. You can't say that the interception wasn't as valuable as the fumble because you could still miss. Just like we could kick a field goal if we made the completion.
You're wrong. I'm not even going to talk about that. But like the bottom line is at that point it was 14-7, and we were driving down the field. We started on the 36 of the Chicago Bears 36, and we were on the 33 of Detroit, and we were driving, and it was a fumble. That's what happened. I count that as points. Okay, you cannot, but whatever.
That's fine. That's fine. But after the fumble, did the Lions score? Hold on. After the fumble, did the Lions score?
No, they didn't. That's
after the
interception.
Irrelevant. After the interception, did the Lions score?
I don't think they did.
They did. They got a touchdown. Continue.
Whatever. Still relevant.
No, it's very much relevant. It's a swing. It's a point swing.
Oh my fucking God. I'm done. Stop talking about the interception. I'm not talking to you about it anymore. It's stupid. It's fucking basically a punt.
We don't punt on 2nd downs, Miller.
I said basically. But your play calling to go further than that. One thing that was brought up today, because it's actually relevant information other than an interception on a 2nd and 32 actually impacting the game. But one thing that was brought up by Tim Jenkins, I don't know how Ben feels about him, but he was a backup quarterback in the league, and he does a lot of analysis. I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter. I think he's pretty good. He pointed out that Ben Johnson reran several plays multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's fairly concerning, and it's also good, right? It's concerning because...
Concerning and good, all right? I'm intrigued.
It's concerning because that means that Caleb isn't picking up the offense as quickly. Not necessarily as quickly, but he's still working on picking up the offense. These plays were very successful, so either they saw something that Detroit does that they exploited, and they just did it over and over again. I think they did it like 3 or 4 times. It was just one of those in routes. But it's also good because how many times have you seen an offensive coordinator for the Bears play to their quarterback's strength? We don't see that very often because these plays that were ran multiple times, they were successful. And they did get chunk yards out of it. So it's not like they were running these bullshit wide receiver screens that didn't go anywhere. These were successful plays. It's just he pointed out that normally you don't see somebody of Ben Johnson's caliber rerunning the same plays multiple times.
And I think that goes back to the point where I said it was a conservative playbook.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of to be expected. I mean, many people have come out and said, fuck, Caleb Williams coming into the league, basically a rookie based on last year's cluster. Um, it's going to take him a while to learn this offense. It's not like Jared Goff, who had 4 or 5 years under his belt and then going into an offense and learning it. He's brand new to the league, so he's going to take some time to learn it. But I just felt like him kidding. I wish he threw a little bit more. Rome did have multiple bad drops down the field that could have assisted in not only Caleb having a better performance, but also moving us down the field. But going back to your emotion on penalties, dude, come on, man. You were the first one to fucking call his ass out for being on the bench because he was hurt. And now you want him to show emotion? How's that going to fucking go?
Wait,
You're going to call him out last year when he was fucking writhing in pain because he got his ass kicked by the defensive line because our offensive line sucked. You called him out for his posture or whatever. So now you want him to be aggressive on the sidelines, so then you can call him out for that. I'm sorry, what do you want? I don't buy this bullshit.
So hold on. So wait a minute. So if our offensive line gets another holding penalty, you just want him to be like, "Hey, good job there, brother." We don't want to give him yards. So I
don't necessarily want him at this point of his career to start getting in one of these guys' faces.
He's got a C in his chest for a reason. That's all I'll say.
I mean, you're fair, but he's gotten a lot of bad. He's gotten a lot of bad media when he's done stuff like that. So I don't necessarily think that you stating that it would be good is necessarily going to be good. Great.
It would be good. Okay, it doesn't matter about the press at that point, Miller. You're 0-2. Can it get worse?
You're 0-1.
You're 0-2.
At that point, they're 0-1 though.
Okay, but at this point, you're 0-2. Can it get worse?
Yes, it could get worse.
How can it get worse?
You lose the next fucking 15 games.
And no one's really going to care. My whole thing is, and we're just going to have to jump into the offensive side because we're already almost at an hour, which is incredible. We'll talk about the defense here in a bit, but just to go on the offensive side, penalties killed us. Penalties killed us. We got to be able to do something during the game to fix it and to get everyone back in play. I think I saw another thing where we're running the line where it's like 7 seconds on the play clock and we're still trying to figure that out. You would think that they have that after last week not be an issue. It's still an issue. I just saw a lot of inconsistencies that I saw from last week that I hope to get corrected. Hasn't been corrected. Now, it is week 2. There's not much that can be done. I understand. I give them that credit. All I was trying to say is, like, if someone's fucking up and you wear the C for a reason, fuck. Like Peyton Manning did it. He didn't give a fuck.
He didn't do it when it's fucking not rookie, but second year in the league. So
brother, he has the record for most interceptions as a rookie, and he still managed to have a Hall of Fame career. And
he yelled at Jeff Saturday. He did a bunch of shit. Faces and started cursing him out in his second year. No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so we're not going to skip over the defense. The last thing I'll talk about on the offense is the rushing needs to get better. Swift needs to be better. We're last in EPA per carry, which is expected yardage. Not good. Needs to be better. He did look okay, but come on, dude. We need to get some spark there. Break some fucking tackles or something. Moving on to the defense, because I don't want to move past this, because while you blame the offense on their shittiness, I put this game mostly on the defense. The defense couldn't stop shit. They stopped them maybe 1 or 2 times in the first quarter, and then proceeded to allow 7 scoring drives, which resulted in 52 points. Like I mentioned earlier, they allowed 511 yards. And crazy enough, as we pointed out, Caleb, yes, he threw an interception. We had a fumble, but it's not like they had short fields. The average scoring drive for the Lions was 60 yards. So, like, these aren't short fields that these guys are getting. These guys are driving, and they're just letting them go, and they're just running it down our throat, throwing it down our throat. The DBs, Jalen got hurt again. TJ Edwards got hurt again. We don't have DBs. Tyreek Stevenson, who was obviously the infamous rookie quarterback last year for the Washington game, he's currently our number 1 corner, spitting a 158.3 quarterback rating against, which is phenomenal.
I didn't even know they were tracking stats like that. I
As
saw
our
that in the group
quarterback
chat.
won. Well, I'm sure they just found, there he is. Oh, there's another completed pass. He's just getting run over. The whole defense is getting run over. Defensive line, it's getting a lot of hate, and I get it. We're not in the sacks where we need to be. We're not getting the sacks, but I have noticed a little more movement up front. Jared Goff did move around a little bit. Not saying much when you're not getting to him, but compared to last year when it was a fucking steel wall, like, I don't know. We just need to see something from the defensive front. Dennis Allen came in. I was excited for Dennis Allen. He ran a good defense down in New Orleans. And to put up what we've put up, you're talking 73 points in the last 5 quarters. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about injuries and stuff like that. I think Brian said it best in our group chat. Shout out Brian. It almost like the team had no heart. And then of course I had to use the meme from the replacements.
Yeah.
That was great. That was perfect timing for that. I don't know. I'm very hesitant to talk about the defense because we kind of said that it was a breakdown on the Minnesota game. I think that game should have been won because of our defense, and it was lost because of our defense. I think in this game, it was Ben Johnson's coming back. You would think that there would be something there, but I mean, we kind of called it. I think Detroit, this being a division game, I think Detroit was going to come out and rail us, and that kind of came
They
to
got
fruition.
embarrassed in week 1. They did. People were questioning their OC. People were questioning their team. Like, they had a lot going for them. That's
Yeah.
why we both, I think you predicted it, but I
So
know I predicted a blowout. But
I did too. Yeah. So with that being said, Miller, was this a Lions win or a Bears loss?
this is a Lions win. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
All right, we're on the same page. I agree with that. Let's go into the positivity
No,
score.
I have a question of the day.
Oh God, what's the question?
Obviously, Jalen Johnson's probably hands down the best player on the Bears, but he's currently not active, and it looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the year. Who is the best active player on this Chicago Bears team?
Offense and defense.
Yeah.
Odunze.
Isn't that fucking scary?
Yeah. Wait, did you agree with that?
I mean, he's probably like the only. I mean, how many players are there for you to choose from? He's the only one that's done anything, right? It's probably either him or Caleb,
No,
if you're being honest.
no, not Caleb. I think maybe Swift over Caleb. If I
I
was
wouldn't
like,
say. I don't.
you could flip flop between Caleb and Swift. I would say.
But like nobody on the defensive side. It's just a funny
No,
thing. It's just like this team is
who
just full of trash players right now,
or they're
and
just hurt.
it's scary. I mean, you could make a case probably for Joe Tooney or something like that, but sorry, Lyman, you don't get that much credit or not credibility, but
Yeah,
fame
I
with
think
me.
but also I
It's
wish you could
probably
see.
wrong.
I think it was probably Rome. You would probably want to see more kind of, you know, get more involved. But that's where I think it's like that's where kind of Caleb kind of, just has to be like we'll talk about the Bengals too, but it's like I want to see like you have a clear one with the Bengals, and no matter who the quarterback is, everyone knows you look for your one. I don't know if Odunze is becoming that one, and we're kind of starting to utilize him that way. But it's like your quarterback has to rely on your one, has to rely on your tight end, and it's like you're not seeing that as much as
No,
you
you're
want to say
seeing the
that he's
one. I mean, he was targeted probably fucking 10 times. You're seeing it. He's the new one. He is. He was
okay. So
targeted
I'll
11 times. DJ Moore targeted 6 times.
yeah. So like
So Rome is the new one on this team, which was kind of expected, but
I guess that's where I'm at. All right, we're gonna kind of speed this through a little bit. We're past Miller's bedtime. Positivity score. Our buddy Boopin wrote a 4. Miller, I'm sorry, we are not doing a positivity score on Caleb or the
no, I'm
Bears.
not. I'm not. I'm not. I was just saying
Okay,
it's a combination.
go
So
ahead.
I'm
What's
at a
your
3. I'm at a 3. The Bears as a whole is 1, but Caleb I'm at a 5. So that gives me an average of a 3. I do think Caleb has been taking some correct steps in the right direction. He's going to slowly learn this offense, and I'm hoping that as he gets more regimented in it, we start to see some
Can you
positive.
define? Okay, So can you define that for a little bit? Like, what do you want to see improvement for next week? What do you want to see? I just want to ask that real quick.
I want to see what. Okay, so I want to see some chunk plays. I want to see throws down the field, accurate throws, not turning the ball over. I'd like to see some throws down into the flat. I don't think we saw enough of that to avoid pressure. I don't think we saw enough of that this week. And just generally moving the ball, looking comfortable behind the line. I mean,
See, this
I'm
is
not
not
going to be.
improvements. This is just bullshit. All right. Going
That's
into my
not. So,
positivity
what do you
score,
want to see improved?
what do I want to see improved? I think I already said it. I just want to see. You know what?
Bullshit. Okay,
No.
we can move
Well,
on.
yeah. Now that you put me on the spot, the only thing I will say is I, I hope we get to see more aggressiveness, but I just want to see like the pacing. I just want to see more timing stuff, which on the times that I've seen it, I don't feel like it's very hit or miss. I just want to see consistency with one thing. Let's just start with one thing and then work our way up. All right, as you know, or you might not know, the positivity score, because I'm going back to school, I'm going back to a grading scale. This was a solid F.
Okay, don't do that
Hold
stupid
on,
shit.
hold on. It was a solid F.
It doesn't
It's a
make any
forty
fucking
percent.
sense.
It's a 40%. So on my positivity score is a 4.
So
I'm a
you have one grade that's positive. You have an A or a B, and that's an 8, 9, or 10.
yeah.
That's all you have. That's so fucking dumb. Whatever. School does not apply outside school. You need to learn this.
All right, we're gonna blaze through this fantasy recap. I'm not gonna let Miller talk because he's gonna talk us to death. Um, according to this, the top QBs destroy teams. I don't know how we can say that after what happened to Burrow, but all right. Hurts
Did you
definitely played well.
lose?
I won.
Oh, good for you. I
I
lost with
know.
Burrow. No, I did win with Burrow going down, but
I won with Burrow going down, but there's a lot that I have to discuss. I wish Boopin was here, but whatever. Um, Burrow, Hurts, Allen, Fields, all under 15 fantasy points. The biggest injury to come out is Joe Burrow. He's going to be out for 3 months with turf toe. Will have surgery, which that's another. There was another quarterback that also had turf toe surgery. I can't remember who it was, but it was also like a fantasy thing. And then I remembered, oh yeah, that was a thing. Jaden Daniels, his
you can
injury.
basically the consensus is you can drop him. You can put him on IR if you want, but he's droppable
Yeah.
because they're not thinking that he's even if he comes back after
It's
3
December,
months,
January. Yeah.
their Bengals probably won't be in contention.
Well, they're still 2-0, so you never know. Jaden Daniels, that injury report has been hit or miss because there's not a lot of stuff that people want to talk about. There have been some reports of an injury. They just didn't.
He has a knee injury and
It
he's
wasn't
questionable
properly.
for.
It wasn't properly disclosed until like yesterday or something like that. There was talks about him being injured, and then we're saying no, and then they said he
Okay,
was.
well, he has a knee injury and he's questionable for Sunday.
JJ McCarthy was officially hurt. He has an ankle injury, I believe that was what I read. And then news came out today that Aaron Jones was placed on IR. No, not IR. What's the one
No,
where you
you're
miss
right.
4 games? Oh, is that the
IR.
one you missed 4 games? Yeah. That he was placed in 4 games. The one injury that I see that we're not talking about is Fields, who was trying to get cleared from the concussion protocol. He was also questionable at that
Well,
point.
when you put up the worst QBR of all time, do we really need to talk about it?
You don't want to see the man hurt. All right. Here's
1.1 QBR.
here's my dilemma.
Oh
My
god.
available quarterbacks are not looking that great on my team because Burrow went out. So as
Do
you
you
know,
have anybody on your
I
team?
have Caleb.
Play him. He's
Hold
rated like the
hold
fifth fucking.
hold on. I don't want to use a waiver pick. So after talking to my buddy,
Why?
hold on. After talk because I'm placed 1 on waivers, and it doesn't look like quarterbacks are going to be taken. So I have the Seahawks quarterback, and I also have Rodgers available if I want a second pickup. So my thought process is if I can't get the Seahawks, I can't think of his name right now. The Seahawks
Darnold.
quarterback, yeah, Darnold. I can pick up Darnold, play him because I think his matchups are looking pretty good for the next couple weeks, or play Caleb but still pick up a quarterback and do the quarterback dance of dropping a
So
quarterback and then picking up another one after waivers, all that stuff. So I can
I
save
don't
my
know how
waiver
your
pick for
waivers
next week.
work, but Is that thing? Is
You
it
do a
based
pick.
on your waiver or is it based on activity?
It's based on if you make the pick, you drop down.
Okay, are you sure about that? It's not based
Yes,
on activity. So if you don't do anything for waivers and you pick somebody free agency, it won't affect your waivers.
that's my understanding.
Okay. Well, you should not do any quarterback in waiver this week. You
Right.
should
That's what
just wait
for free
because
agent. Yes.
Caleb is projected to have a very good week this week because
Well,
he's going up against Dallas.
that's my situation. But yeah, I won thankfully. Jamar Chase. God, I love that man. That man is just a beast.
I got so lucky in one of mine.
But can I just say, I called the Patriots defense. They were better than Pittsburgh again. Not again. They were horrible last week. I just wanted
They
to
were
send them home.
horrible this week.
Patriots got more points than Pittsburgh.
Well, Pittsburgh has been trash.
Yeah.
The only reason, what did they get? Like 7?
8.
Yeah, and they had a fucking return touchdown.
Yeah, and they had I think like 2 interceptions or something like that. So yeah, they gave up a lot of yards.
They have not been good. Like,
but I did say that the Patriots would have like a really good defensive fantasy. So I'm still riding high on that. All right.
They don't. They don't.
Miller, we're going to try to finish this in 10 minutes or less. We got the week 3 preview. I hate that you made me host, but I'm going to give this part to you.
I didn't make you host. You suck.
All right. Fair enough. Bears are going to be playing at Cowboys in the afternoon game. Bears are 0-2. Cowboys are 1-1 after an overtime win. Go ahead. Never mind, you weren't prepared. One of the best wide receiver duos in the league, Dennis Allen, changed his man-on-man.
Okay, so obviously the Dallas Cowboys. What are the Dallas Cowboys?
Talking, and then he just starts doing this. Go ahead.
What are the Dallas Cowboys? Obviously, they have Dak Prescott. They were just in a nail biter last week against the Giants, where Russell Wilson
the Giants,
the nail
biter against the Giants.
The Giants. Russell Wilson put up 450 fucking yards passing in that game against the Dallas defense.
At Dallas.
So at Dallas. So it was a great game. It was a fun game to watch. I wish the Giants won because there was a lot of eliminator teams that could have went out, that could have helped me. They didn't. It's fine. But this team is going to be very much an offensive front and forward team. The defense should suck, just like our defense. I don't know much about. I would probably say the rushing defense would be a little better with the guy that they got from the Packers. I know you were. Brian was super excited about that because they took their run stopper and they gave him Micah Parsons. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
But their run defense should be a little bit better. But again, Caleb should be opened up through the air. We'll see what he does against this defense. Come on, dude. Like, at least give me a 300. I made a bet on you today. Might be drinking a little bit if you don't get 300 yards. But come on, dude. If Russell Wilson could put up 450, you better be able to put up 300. But realistically, when you're going to be watching this game, you're going to be looking at obviously how our offense performs. It better move up and down the field. But the problem is, on the other side of the ball, you got Dak Prescott throwing probably to the best wide receiver duo in the league in CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. So what are we going to be able to do to stop them? Obviously, Dennis Allen mainly plays man-on-man defense as far as cornerbacks are concerned. The question is he going to change that? Is he going to move to a different scheme since he doesn't have his best corner? And really, we don't even have a corner. I think we could play corner better than these guys. Just kidding.
Imagine my fat ass playing corner.
It's a joke. It's a joke. But it'll be interesting to see how we attack this offense because they are elite. Javonte Williams has a little bit of pep in his step. He's had a few good weeks of running the ball. So they really look like a complete offense. Now, they did lose their center in the Giants game for 6 to 8 weeks. So we'll see how that affects the offense. But I don't know. It should be a shootout, ladies and gentlemen. It should be a fun game. What's the over-under? Do you know?
Over-under on ESPN Sportbook is 49.5.
Oh, I'm thinking over that. But who knows? I think it'll be over.
All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead into our predictions. We're going to start with Boopin. Boopin, early in the season said that the Bears would win against the Cowboys.
We have to do recaps. Come on.
Huh?
Currently, Chris is leading at 2-0.
Yeah, that's right. My bad.
Boopin and I are tied at 1-1.
Yes.
Going into this.
And I was the closest with the score. Did you hear the episode about the
I don't know what your fucking score was because you had two scores listed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it sure was. It was the first one. Yeah.
No, I told Boopin, I was like, I'm going to stick with the first one, but I also had another score in my mind, but just write it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. You love to play both sides of the fucking coin.
Both sides are still bullshit. Right. 2-0, brother.
Fucking bullshit.
All right, back to what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. Boopin has them coming out of this with a victory, going 30-27.
No, it was a loss. It was a loss. He has them as a loss.
He has them as a loss now?
Yes, he's a loss. That's probably my fault.
Oh, so he switched his pick.
No, he didn't. I did all the editing. I probably
no.
I didn't know you were going to talk.
No, he had win in the schedule prediction, so he switched it to a loss.
Oh, okay. That may be the case. Yeah, yes, okay. He has it as a loss.
It would have been great to hear, but he has a close score of 30-27. Miller, what do you got?
I am very similar. I have him at 31-27 Cowboys, even though we are projected to win in Vegas, but we know how that goes.
So I also have him at a loss. I'm keeping trend. We are only going to score maybe 21 or 24 points. I think we're going to continue to average to 2 touchdowns per game. I don't think we're going to do anything else. I think
that would be 3 touchdowns.
Well, we might get a defensive one, but I'm kind of maintaining. I'm maintaining the score of. I'm maintaining the score of going what we've seen.
I'm the drunk one.
Yeah. But I think like 21 seems to be the right number. 24 might be there. I think Cowboys come out with 37, 34 or something like that. So my final score.
Oh, so you think a blowout? Jesus Christ.
I think the over hits. I think it's going to be Bears 21, Cowboys 34.
We may not. We may be skipping the podcast next week if the over hits, or if they blow us out.
If they blow us out, I mean, you don't want to see. I would have wanted these games to be close, man, but. I think this
first
last
one
game
was close.
Yeah, but I feel like I go back to like the first one. You have them pinned against the wall, and you
have them by the balls, Chris. Yeah, you have them by the balls.
You have to finish it, and then this next game, it's like you got caught cheating, so you just want to give them, you want to give them the pass. It's the Cowboys. I think it's a primetime game. Well, not a primetime.
It's not primetime. It's game of the week.
It's a game of the week, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know,
Caleb
man.
Against Dak.
The more that I see this season going, I just don't want to keep getting disappointed more and more. But it's going to go with the trend that I said. I think the Bears are going to lose the first 4 games of the year. You guys criticized it. But yeah, I think we lose
the Raiders. This fucking town may burn. Did you see Geno last night? Played like shit.
Yeah.
They stole our running back and he fucking played like shit.
Montgomery looked great though at Detroit. I don't know, dude. It's just there's so much that I want to say, and then I had to remind people
He's not a full-time running back.
He's not, but we could have done the same fucking thing. Whatever. Also, we have to remind everyone.
We don't even have one running back. That's
we have a half with Swift. I still like Swift. Swift looks good though.
He does. He's not good. We talked about this.
Listen,
is like
no.
Negative.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Yardage per play.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I said he looks good. He might not play good, but he looks good when he's out.
He looks the part. He looks the part. He's shifty.
Yes.
He's shifty. He just does this little shifty, and then runs into the ass.
He makes people like
line.
he's just missing what Saquon does. Saquon causes him to miss and then boom goes out. Swift just just does the little bit of the dabble. But
the problem is Swift doesn't break tackles. He doesn't do anything that he shouldn't do. So when he gets hit, he goes down. That's just what he is.
I just want to know, I couldn't go past it. I like talking about it, but it's becoming beating a dead horse kind of thing. The Bears still can't tackle on defense. It just seems.
You guys hold these people to too high of standards. Yes, people make mistakes. Fucking live with it.
Hey, we kind of did it, Miller. We're about to hit a minute 15. Let's
a minute 15. We've only been talking for 75 seconds, 15, guys.
Sorry. An hour. I'm out of it.
I'm the drunk one.
Yeah. All right, but Miller, drunkie, go ahead and send us home, brother.
Thank you for listening. This has been the Trio of Positivity podcast. one of us is missing next week, but we will have a fill-in next week to assist us. Surprise, surprise. We'll see who that...
It's Ben.
We'll see who that gentleman is. Maybe someday in the near future we can have some positivity, but realistically, it's probably not going to happen for a while. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.